Bitcoin is seeing a huge retracement back to the $60,000, but this could be the biggest bear trap you've ever seen. In this video I will tell you what we can expect for Bitcoin next, because there are a lot of interesting formations unfolding on the charts. There's a lot of interesting data showing for the Ethereum and the Bitcoin ETFs, and also a lot of interesting data is coming into the market, so you don't want to miss this. I'm also going to have a look at the two altcoins BNB and Solana, but about that later in the video. So watch this video all the way to the end. Don't forget to like the video, and let's dive right into the charts. On the daily time frame we can see that Bitcoin was in this lower high structure, and we also saw lower lows unfolding, but now we can see we are in this beautiful uptrend on the daily time frame. This is looking very bullish, and we can also see this huge horizontal level is coming into play, and yesterday we came all the way back to this 60,500 level, and now we can see that this level is holding strong for now. So if this level is going to hold for Bitcoin and we are going to see a beautiful bounce through this level, we can continue the bullish uptrend on the daily time frame, and this would of course be very bullish for Bitcoin. So this level around the $60,500 needs to hold for Bitcoin in order to remain bullish. So for now we are creating higher highs and higher lows, and this is looking very bullish. So this trend reversal for Bitcoin is in full effect, and let's see if we can continue the bullish momentum. And yesterday the Bitcoin ETFs had a little bit of a bearish day again, and BlackRock had its fourth day of outflow since the start of the ETFs on January 5th of 2024. So this is a little bit bearish for the BlackRock ETF, of course. We also saw that the ARK Invest Bitcoin ETF was selling like crazy, and we had a total negative outflow of almost $53 million. So this is a little bit more bearish. But today we could see more bullish inflows because this number is not very bearish, just like the day before that. So let's see what we can expect for the Bitcoin ETFs in today. And if we have a look at the inflows of the Ethereum ETF, we can see that we saw almost a $20 million of inflows, and this is very bullish, of course. And here BlackRock was buying, so they bought more Ethereum yesterday, and this is looking bullish. So if we can see more bullish inflows for the Ethereum ETFs this week, we can maybe see a pump of the Ethereum price again. And if we then zoom in on the 1 hour time frame for Bitcoin, we can see this bullish divergence is unfolding. We can see a lower low is unfolding, but we can also see a higher low on the RSI chart. So this is a bullish divergence, and it could play out in the coming day. So this means that the selling pressure is cooling off, and that we're seeing more buying pressure coming into the market. So let's see if Bitcoin can validate this huge bullish divergence and see a spike to the top side. And we can also see this downward sloping resistance line is unfolding for Bitcoin on the 1 hour chart. And we are seeing this resistance line coming into play. So every time we touch this resistance, we are seeing a huge rejection from this level. So let's see if Bitcoin can see another rejection, or that we are going to see a bullish break, a retest of the resistance to turn it into support, and then can aim for higher targets. But I think that the bullish scenario will play out today, because I also think that this bullish divergence will play out, and that is going to have a bullish effect on the price of Bitcoin. So let's see if Bitcoin can break this downward sloping resistance line today. And if we have a look at this chart with horizontal levels that act as support and resistance, we came back to this 60,500 support, and as I was saying, this huge support is holding strong for now. So let's see if we can hold this level, and if we're going to see a break below this level, so if the bearish scenario play out, then we will go back to lower levels around the $58,000. But if Bitcoin is going to see a bounce from this level, and if the support is holding strong for now, then we can go back to the $64,000, and that of course will be the bullish scenario. So let me know in the comments what you think about Bitcoin. Are we going to hold this huge support level, or are we going to break this horizontal level, and are we going to coming back below the $60,000? So I think personally we are going to see a big bounce to the top side, because I think we are still in this huge uptrend on the daily time frame. And after this beautiful gain of this level, we didn't retest it as support yet. So we are now retesting this level as support, and I think we will see more upside from here, because there's also a lot of panic coming into the market because of the potential war, and the panic is a little bit over now. So I think this will just happen as a bullish retest, and now we can aim for higher targets again. So I believe this week we could potentially see the levels around the $64,000 again. And if we then have a look at the Bitcoin monthly returns, we can see that October is starting a little bit bearish. We can see a 3.2% of a bearish month already. But Bitcoin had its best September ever in history. And this is looking very bullish, because Every time we saw a bullish September, we had a bullish Q4, and that means that we saw 3 consecutive months in the last quarter of this year. So we also saw that last year. So let's see if October, November and December can turn green this year. And if that turns green, we will most likely see a new all-time high for Bitcoin unfolding. And another interesting daily chart I want to have a look at is this huge falling wedge formation which Bitcoin broke out. We saw a huge falling wedge formation with multiple touch points on the top side as resistance, and also on the lower side we saw a lot of touch points as support. And every time we touched this support, we saw a nice bounce to the top side, and every time we came back to this huge support area, I was telling you that I was been buying more Bitcoin because it's a very interesting place to buy more Bitcoin. And we saw a beautiful spike to the top side. We broke out of this falling wedge formation, but we didn't test this huge downward sloping resistance line yet as support. So Bitcoin could potentially come back to this level, retest this resistance as support, and then aim for higher targets. And the breakout target of this falling wedge formation is still in play because it's not being reached yet, and that will be around the top side of this formation, around the $68,000. And we can also see some huge horizontal levels coming into play, which will be acting as huge resistance if we're going to break these levels. So of course the first big level will be the breakout target around the $68,000, and after that we can see huge horizontal levels coming into play as resistance. So if we're going to break these levels, then we can reach for a new all-time high in the coming months. And the first altcoin I want to have a look at is Solana. We can see that Solana is creating this huge horizontal level on the daily time frame. We can see a lot of touch points in the past as support and resistance, and every time we touch this level we saw a huge price interaction happening. But we saw in the last months a lot of support coming into the market, but every time we touch a certain level it becomes a little bit weaker. And we can also see that Solana is in this huge lower high trend with multiple lower highs on the chart. So we can also see that this downtrend is still in play. And we can see a little bit of a price compression unfolding for Solana. So eventually this price compression will break out to the top side, or of course to the downside, and that will be the bearish scenario. So let's see if Solana can see a break of this huge trend, because we want to see a higher high unfolding. And if Solana needs to become bullish, we want to see that higher high play and also a higher low play. But we could potentially also come back to this huge support area around the $128. And we could also see the bear scenario play out, that we're going to see a break below this level, a retest of the support to turn it into resistance, and then aim for lower targets. But for now I think Solana is strong enough, and every time we touch this horizontal support we saw a nice bounce to the top side. So if Solana comes back to this huge support, it could also be a very interesting place to buy more Solana for the long term. And let me know in the comments what you think about Solana, and if you still hold Solana in your portfolio. And another very interesting altcoin I want to have a look at is BNB. So the Binance coin, we saw a beautiful run up from the lows since the bear market, and now we are trading inside of this huge range for a couple of months now. And if we zoom in a little bit, we can also see that BNB was creating this huge falling wedge which broke out of. And we could also see after this breakout we saw a bullish retest because this previous resistance was being turned into support, and from there we saw a nice bounce to the top side. But we can also see that this huge resistance was coming into play, and last week we saw a big rejection for BNB. So let's see if BNB comes back to this huge support area, or that we are going to see a big break to the top side, and that will be of course very bullish. But for now we are trading inside of this range since the beginning of March, so this is also very interesting to see. And eventually we have to pick a side, so we are going to see either a break to the top side or a break to the downside. And let me know what you think about BNB, if we're going to see a bullish break out of this range, or are we going to see a bearish break out of this range. So for now Bitcoin is at this crucial support level, and we need to hold it in order to become a little bit more bullish. And if we're going to see a bullish retest of this beautiful support, then we can confirm a bullish uptrend. Because first we were in this downtrend, and now Bitcoin is creating an uptrend, so this is looking very bullish on the daily time frame. And these are the levels to watch for Bitcoin in the coming days. Please give a like if you find the video useful, follow me on my other socials, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.